Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Jump, and this is just a really quick Famicom update. I'm waiting for some capacitors to arrive for the Dragon that I'm working on at the moment. So I thought I'd have a little bit of a play with the old Famicoms, and unfortunately I'm going to have to report that it looks like my my working CPU has failed. Basically what I've done is I've removed all the 74 series logic ICs that were down here. The 74 74HC368 368s, because this is one of the things I thought may be a fault on the second board over here. This is the one that had the faulty CPU on it in the first place, and I was suspecting it may have been the 74 series logic that was there that was actually causing the problem, and may have actually damaged the original CPU by failing. So what I did is I took all the off both boards. This is basically going to be my test board from now on. I'm not going to be putting this back in a Famicom. I'll probably mount it up on a little board or something, because I've now socketed everything I want to socket really on here. I may socket that bit of 74 series at the back there just for completeness, but yeah, basically what I did is I took all these out. One of my EEPROM programmers actually has a 74 series tester on it, and I tested all four of these and they all passed. All four of the 74 series logics actually passed. So I thought, alright, fair enough, I will try them actually on a Famicom board. So I put the bad CPU on this board, and I tried the RAM off the board that we've been trying to repair, the faulty board over here. Sorry, not the RAM, the 74 series logic off that board on this board, but with the faulty CPU on it, and switched on, and I got what I expected. It fired up, but I had no control on the joystick. On the joypad it basically does nothing. So alright, fair enough. I then took out the old CPU. Sorry, I took out the faulty CPU, and I put my good known working CPU in this board, which unfortunately then when I switched on, all I was getting was a black screen. Now that CPU had definitely worked previously. It's the one we'd had working on this board, but putting it on this board with tested on my tester 74 series logic off this board, so I just got a black screen. So I thought, alright, I'll swap the logic ICs back over, so the original ones off this board and the original CPU off this board back on it, and unfortunately we're getting a black screen. So it looks like my good CPU that was working has unfortunately bit the dust, and I'm not sure really why it's happened, because I mean I am quite mindful of anti-static. You know, I always, when I'm working on these things, either ground myself or, generally speaking, I'm on a static wrist strap, and I'm actually now got my workshop set up a bit better. I'm working on a static mat as well. I keep all my components, when I'm not working on them, in static protective boxes. It's one of these things that unfortunately just happens with this older equipment. So I have now two bad CPUs. This one is the one that's off that board and was the first one at fault, and it's a really strange fault it's got actually. Like I said, you switch on and it powers up and it works the actual Famicom, but you have no joystick control. If you look, the cursor is doing absolutely nothing, and then eventually the cursor will kind of just disappear off somewhere and won't do anything. But what I have found, and this is really, really strange, is that if I lift, I don't know which pin is it now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if I lift pin 16, forget that socket's empty there, because that 74 series logic IC there is really just to do with the front controller there, so you don't have to worry, it will power up fine without that populated. But what I'll just show you, this is the strange thing, if I lift this out and I actually bend pin 16 out of the way, and I reinsert it in its socket. A little bit tricky to do. So that's reinserted, but we've just isolated pin 16 from it, and we power it back up. If you look, it actually works. I can select a game. Now it's not working properly. The game actually it does crash basically. The graphics are all corrupted, but I can actually, as you can see, I can actually select, and the game will load. It's just it's obviously corrupted. The sprites are corrupted. The character's not there. But I just thought that was strange, and I was wondering if anyone that knows more about these Famicoms than I do may have an idea what's going on there. Like I said, it's pin 16 on this first 74HC368. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm just wondering whether anyone has any ideas what's going on there. In the interim, it's a bit of a bugger because it means I've got two bad CPUs. I've got the one Famicom remaining, which I've not even looked at yet, and I actually have another two Famicoms on their way from Japan. One of which is probably definitely going to be a donor because it's in a very, very sorry state, but apparently it is actually working. It's just in a very bashed up state. So I can definitely make one good one using bits of the case from, say, this one and that one. And there's another one coming which is, again, another untested one, but it does look in rather nice condition. But yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. I will probably, in the next video, dig out that other Famicom that I've got, and we will see if we can get that one working. But like I said, at the moment it's looking like we have two bad CPUs now, unfortunately. But I'm going to leave that here for now. Like I say, it was only going to be a little short video and a bit of an update on these Famicoms while I wait for my capacitors to arrive for the Dragon. So I will leave it there for now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.